Hello and welcome to the viewers of this video. This is the Orange Fan here, bringing you another entry for the episode Recap and Thoughts category. This video will be dedicated to the B segment of episode 51 of The Loud House, Antisocial. We begin this segment with Lynn Sr. returning home, but he finds all of his kids and his wife are on technological devices, mostly phones, but Lily is on a tablet. He grows angry when he sees that none of his family members are paying any attention to him when he's trying to talk to them, and he resorts to slamming the door to get their attention. And it turns out they didn't realize when he got home. They question how long he's been home for. And Lynn Sr. goes on a rant about how he doesn't like these technological devices, and he threatens to cut the internet if they don't use the technological devices a lot. So he wants them to use them less, or else he'll cut the internet, much to the horror of the Loud siblings, Luna uses an analogy about how it's like cutting off their oxygen supply if they cut off the internet. And they believe that the reason why their dad doesn't really like the devices is because he doesn't understand them. So they decide to form a plan where they would show Lynn Sr. the good of technology. And that's what the following scenes are about. We see them introducing Lynn Sr. to texting, phone games, filters, and live streaming, pretty much to help Lynn Sr. out, whether it's for to finish up his to-do list, pass the time, or to make an ideal photo for a reunion, or to bring attention to the band he and Kataro have formed. And eventually, Lynn Sr. has fully embraced the technological devices, and he actually decides that the family should get faster internet, much to the delight of the Loud siblings. And after that, though, we get a reversal of the roles, where this time Lynn Sr. is the one who is looking into his technological devices so much that he doesn't pay any attention to his kids when they try to get his attention, whether it's wanting to spend time with him or wanting his help for school assignments. It doesn't really, they aren't able to get his attention. And at one point, we have a scene where the siblings are the ones who slam the door shut to get his attention, and they want to get him away from the devices, but he's the one who's adamant about not having the devices taken from him. When the siblings have a sibling meeting, they soon realize the irony of how the roles have switched, and they can understand why Lynn Sr. originally was frustrated with them. But now they're wondering how they're going to get their dad off of the technological devices that they've got him to be so into. And they end up doing what Lynn Sr. had threatened to do to them earlier. They cut off the internet, and Lynn Sr. is quite horrified by the results. He even uses the analogy about the oxygen supply. And the Loud siblings admit to their dad that they were the reason why he became so fascinated with technology, and they realize what he originally was saying when they were the ones that were really into their devices. So their hope is that with the internet cut off, that they can all try to do stuff together. And we do see that, like playing chess or putting blocks together and folding laundry and other sort of activities like that. And at first, Lynn Sr. struggles with going to a technological device. Even though the internet's off, he still wants to hold the technology or the technological devices. But slowly and steadily, Lynn Sr. is able to resist, and eventually, yeah, he's back to his normal self, or he's not so obsessed with the devices as he was a little bit ago. And when Lynn Sr. leaves the room that the rest of the siblings are in, the siblings admit that now that their dad has been cured, they're wondering if they should put the internet back on, but they decide to wait one more day because they've enjoyed spending time with each other. So the segment ends with the Loud family all spending some time together for this last night before the internet goes back on. Now, once again, we have a segment where Lynn Sr. is the spotlight character, and in this case, it has to do with the idea of an older relative not really understanding technology. But several fans and viewers have pointed out that seems particularly strange to take that approach with Lynn Sr., and that's because Lynn Sr. was an IT worker before he became a co-chef at the Aloha Comrade restaurant. So, and being an IT worker means being knowledgeable about computers and other technological devices. So, a lot of fans did find it strange that Lynn Sr. seemed kind of oblivious to technology when he had a job that involved technology in it. So, that was kind of a strange choice. Now, otherwise, though, as far as the lesson goes, this is actually a good lesson about the balance of technology. I think the point that Lynn Sr. originally made, but then the siblings ended up going with that stance about how some people might be too into their technological devices, that they don't really pay attention to anyone in person. Like, I get that. That's a valid concern some people have. But at the same time, it also addressed how some people go the opposite extreme, acting like technology is inherently evil and that things were better before technology had improved or was created in the first place. But really, the truth of the matter is it's about balance. I mean, technology in and of itself is not inherently good or evil. It depends on how it's used and who's using it. That's what's most important. And I think that was valid, that they brought up both sides of that. And speaking of the sides, it was similar to Health Kicked, where role reversals had happened, except in Health Kicked, it started with the kids trying to get the parents to do something, only for the parents to be the ones to want to get the kids in it, and the kids wanted to get out of it. This time around, it started off with the parent trying to do something regarding the kids, but then it reverses later on where the parents doing the thing they originally complained about the kids doing, and now the kids are complaining about the parent doing what they used to do. But yeah, it came to a point where the siblings recognized what their dad meant originally, and they were able to help him out of it, but it was also helping themselves out of their obsession with their devices as well. And by the end of the segment, while they actually decided to delay getting their internet back just so they could spend some more time together, and you could say that was pretty heartwarming. So, otherwise, it was nice to see Kotaro return again from Fantastic Voyage. Like I said, it's nice that they actually are showing us the friends of at least one of the Loud parents regularly appearing. It gives us some insight on the Loud parents' lives outside of the family, so I appreciated that, even if Kotaro's appearance was brief. Otherwise, though, I have to admit it was a bit unusual that Rita wasn't really involved in this segment because we saw Rita was kind of in the same boat as the Loud siblings at the beginning of the segment, but then she kind of just had a brief appearance in the middle when the roles started to reverse, and then we saw her silhouette at the end of the segment when during the ending scene when it was showing the silhouettes of the Loud House's family members, or yeah, the Loud family members in the house. So I thought that was kind of strange. Like they put the focus more so on Lynn Sr. and didn't really bring attention to Rita. So yeah, I think it does also bring to mind that Rita hasn't had many spotlight appearances compared to Lynn Sr. And I'm hoping Rita will have more spotlight appearances in season 3 because like I said, it's nice that they're giving focus to the parents in general, but it does seem like Lynn Sr. is the one who seems to be getting most of the focus, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but we shouldn't forget about Rita. We should make sure that Rita has a lot of spotlight appearances as well. So, overall, there you go. I did think this was a good segment for the most part. Like I said, it was nice that we got to see more of Friends of the Loud Parents. And I did think that I think they did a good job at the lesson about technology, recognizing that some people might get a little too fixated on their devices, but also recognizing that technological devices are not inherently a bad thing. It depends on how they're being used and who are using the devices. And I do think that's an important lesson because balance is key. That's something I'm very much a believer in. The key is balance. And otherwise, yeah, while I did overall enjoy it, I do admit there were some strange things about it. Like, I think making Lynn Sr. clueless about technology despite having a job involving technology in the past was a strange choice. And I did think it was kind of strange that Rita didn't really play a part in this segment when they could have included her as well. And hopefully Rita will have some more spotlight appearances in season 3. But overall, not a bad segment. Between it and its sibling segment, the A's segment, I think I'd call it a tie. I think they both had their good points and maybe a few oddities here or there, but still overall on the good side. With that said, we've now discussed both segments of episode 51 on this channel. Take care, and until next time.